セガサターンシロ
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday, Shiro Show. Not so happy for
everyone?
Pat, who can't find his cat. I'm sorry, bro.
Would have liked to not say that on the air, but okay.
Oh, well, we all love you and care about you, and
Thank you.
yeah. But yeah, how you doing? Other than I would ask how you're doing, but I know.
Just a bit stressful. Like I'm trying to get the whole house together right now. My room's kind of a mess right now. Cables all around me where the screen is just due to the show or the game on Expo. So it's been kind of crazy getting everything back together. And it's like this week has been like zero like Patrick free time to do that. It's like, oh, you want to do this? You want to do this? Oh, do you want to hang out? It's like, I don't know. Get the stuff I got to put away, and then like just regular stuff and people taking their time. It's like so much stuff and me just being tired and it's not fun.
No. I mean, how was game on Expo? I caught the stream that you did. That seemed good. You know.
It was pretty good. It's pretty good. I got some cool pickups from it. I think I showed one of them on the show, but I'll show them out. I got this one on the air. It's Twinkle Star Sprites.
Oh, cool.
The,
your favorite shmup.
Shmup on the Saturn. Yeah, it was a really good price, about $90. So I was like, usually it's like
oh really? Yeah,
$130 and stuff. So I was like, I'll go for it. So I'm very happy I got this copy. It's complete. I think it might not have the Obi strip. I'll have to double check. I didn't look inside yet. I know it's kind of bad I didn't, but I'm just lazy.
I mean, maybe like
no Obi strip I'm seeing, but still I got both discs. They're in pretty great condition as always, so it's worth it. I just really want to get this game. It's one of my favorites on the Saturn. Oh god, there we go. One of the best shoot 'em ups on the Saturn and on the Neo Geo in general. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, cool.
See, I'm very happy I got that. That was a really fun pickup. I like that a lot. I'm excited to play it though. We played a little bit of Game on Expo on some of the CRTs, so a lot of people seem to enjoy it a lot. So very happy with that. I played on the twin stick, the Saturn dual virtual sticks. My friend had one of those. It was very finicky though. I don't know what's up with it. It kept disconnecting and had a loose connection on it. So it's probably one of those project ones. He's selling it, but he wants like 400 for it, and I'm like, I'm not sure with that issue in the controller thing. It's kind of is like in more 300, 250 territory for that, because that's going to require work to get working again. So
right.
I was going to put up an offer, but it's like I don't really want to spend that much on something I need to fix, you know?
How about you, Dan? What have you been up to?
I didn't finish my pickups.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you had come to an
controller.
Okay. Oh, you got the Dreamcast controller. That's the GameCube. Wait,
the GameCube. Sorry,
the GameCube controller.
Controller. Sorry.
The really wide boy with the controller on the sides, and you get the keyboard in the middle. You said Dreamcast because you use that for PSO, right? On the GameCube. That's
I guess that's what I was thinking.
It's like the go-to for PSO on the GameCube. Yeah.
But yeah, I got the controller here. It's pretty much brand new. Doesn't smell of smoke.
Oh wow, that looks awesome.
All white.
Yep.
All the buttons feel nice and tight. Actually, I was using it for Smash Brothers, so it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
You use that for Smash?
Yeah, I played Smash Brothers. That's what I was playing it with.
Having your hands wide like that? Is it just the feel of it?
Yeah, it feels really nice. I like it's like nice and bulky. It's like
oh yeah. I mean, I love a GameCube controller for Smash, like just from playing Melee. But yeah, I mean it's essentially a GameCube controller, so.
Yeah, no, it's
cool.
really cool. I love like I said, I don't plug in the white bit. I just plug in the blue one. That's the connector. It's a cool controller design too. It's like the white and blue, GameCube blue. So it's kind of a cool, like little double tier thing. So it was a lot of fun. I didn't meet in chat. Sasquatch and Time came by. I didn't actually know he was in Arizona, so he came by. We hung out. He was a really cool dude. He bought the Galaxy Fight from Chris Tang, which is another friend of mine. He's a cool dude. He actually worked on a bunch of Dreamcast stuff. Like he worked on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and a bunch of Capcom titles for the Dreamcast. He was a really cool dude. I gave him a Mr. Setup thing. Well, not Mr. Setup, like the arcade connector for JAMA. So he was working on that. So I was talking to him through that, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. A lot of cool people there.
Cool.
Met a lot of cool, neat people. Met like 2 fans there. They really enjoyed it. Like I said, I actually just doubled from last year. I went from meeting 1 fan of SHIRO to 2.
Oh, that's awesome.
Person.
So they go ahead. Go ahead.
I guess technically I met Nutrageous too, because he actually helped out with the booth. So I didn't even realize who he was until I was like, oh yeah, I'm Nutrageous. I'm like, oh, wait, what? It's like, oh yeah, oh cool, nice to meet you. So he helped out. He brought some CRT. So shouts out Nutrageous and Sasquatch in time. I really appreciate it. Loved meeting you dudes. Loved hanging out with you guys. So yeah, I had a good time.
You informed me of something I did not know, and that was that Game On Expo is changing to a different time of year, right?
Yeah, it's going to be in March. March, I think 7th through 11th. I think. I'll double check.
Okay,
the
yeah.
times
If that's true, then I would like to plan on coming. That would be great. And then we could have like a fall and a spring. We could have like a spring expo and then a fall expo that I'm able to come to. I know you're probably able to come to more, but
a little bit. But yeah, no, it's changing in March, so I'm pretty excited. Got to be a little bit cooler. It's going to be not dying outside in the heat temperature, so maybe we can even hit up the pool or something, do some swimming. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I'm down.
Yeah, definitely hit it up. I think it'd be a lot of fun. It'd be cool if we get all the SHIROs out here, and then I'll fly out for San Diego Retro Game Expo, whatever.
Oh, that's in what is it? Ontario, California. The Southern California Gaming Expo.
Oh, SoCal
Gaming Expo. Yeah, there isn't one in San Diego. I guess unless you could, Comic-Con is the only thing in San Diego, and that's not really Game Expo. So, yeah. But yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing the SoCal Expo, because that one is at least not far at all. I mean, like an hour up the road, basically.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Yeah, so it's not bad for me.
It's the Phoenix Convention Center.
Yeah, exactly. Although for Phoenix, I might drive or I might fly, just because tickets, if I get it far enough in advance, it'll probably be cheap for like a direct flight to Phoenix.
Yeah, no, I'd rather do that than drive, because same thing with SoCal. It's like, I like it, but I'd rather, because I know driving wipes me out. So I'd rather have that stamina from driving, put less miles on my car, and just pay a little bit extra, and it probably evens out anyways with gas, because you have to fill up like about 2 or 3 times anyways. So it's like, why would I just not do that? And I'll have to drive to California, so it's 2 pluses for me. So works out pretty well.
So Dan's not with us in video today. Randomly, but he is in the voice chat. Dan, you want to tell us what you've been up to this week, aside from working hard?
Yeah, well, I only worked hard a couple days a week. I was off on vacation Monday and Tuesday, and I'm off today, and I'm off upcoming Monday and Tuesday. They give me tons of vacation days at work because I've been at the same place for 15 plus years. And so it's like almost more vacation days than I know what to do with, than I really have time to use. So I kind of squeeze them in now. This year, I'm trying to just squeeze them in on these Mondays and Tuesdays when I don't really have much going on early in the week. And I decided to kind of squeeze out an extra day here by taking Friday, by kind of just getting stuff done ahead of time yesterday, which I was pretty crazy busy yesterday trying to get it all done, but it's nice to have some days off. So
I feel that. I'm glad you got some rest though,
buddy. What's that?
I'm glad you're getting some rest though. I definitely understand your plight.
Yeah, I work from home 98% of the time, but you still have to. I was still able to sleep in late, and get up and do whatever I want. I don't have to be just chained to my computer, even if it's a day I don't have a lot going on at work. I still try to be on my computer, at my phone, present, so if anybody needs me for anything, I can help them, if I'm on the clock. But yeah, day off, I got up late and drank some coffee and watched some TV, and then ran a couple errands, wrote up that news roundup for the website that I put up a little bit ago, and yeah, hasn't been a bad day. Bunny made some buffalo chicken dip, which is delicious. Chewy's the best dip, so yeah, it's tasty.
I swear there are flies. It is hot and there are flies in this garage and it's driving me nuts.
They're going to be on set fly.
They're like landing on my phone and I'm like, get off of there. I'm like using my phone to look at the fly lands there. I'm just like, get out of there. Anyway, sorry.
Up to Dave.
Oh, me? I work for a school, as a lot of folks may or may not know, and it's back to school, and so I'm crazy busy. And then my daughter turned 5, and my son turned 10 right before that. So it's been a crazy couple weeks of birthdays and getting ready for back to school and all sorts of stuff. I'm in full on dad mode with the swim lessons and schlepping the kids here and there and stuff. So aside from that, I've done we've done, we recorded a podcast, SHIRO podcast recently. And did like a video for the YouTube channel, but really not much on the gaming front, if I'm going to be completely honest. Been watching Jesse. Oh, no, actually, that's not true. So Jesse's birthday came, and I got him a bunch of Switch games, right? I got him Among Us, Crewmate Edition. I got him Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which he's absolutely in love with that game. Like, he absolutely loves that game. And I've been watching him play it. And I got him, Pokemon Violet. The cool thing for me is that, like, because he got Among Us and he needed to enable online mode, so I resubscribed for the online. I guess I'd let our online subscription lapse or whatever because I wasn't using it. But I resubscribed and I noticed that the Game Boy was up. The Game Boy emulation was up, and that they had Pokemon TCG for the Game Boy Color. So I've been playing Pokemon TCG on the Game Boy Color lately, and I forgot how much fun that is. As crude and simple as it is, and it's all Kanto Pokemon, and it's all there's a lot of stuff that's changed in the series and stuff, but it's still really rock solid. So I know that's not Saturn related, but yeah, so I've been playing some Pokemon TCG on the Game Boy, and I actually bemoan the fact that they have not made another console version of TCG since then. There's been TCG on the PC, but I wish that they would just put out a really nice remake of that Game Boy game on like an HD up-res HD remake or whatever. I've seen folks
get you trapped in combos and just give you some BS kills.
Yeah. I've seen someone on YouTube do like a Unity version of it, or maybe it wasn't Unity, maybe it was Unreal Engine or something like that. They did like their own fan-made remake of that. But I'd love to see Nintendo put some real money and production behind it. Anyway.
Honestly, my favorite games actually on Game Boy are actually card games as well. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Eternal Duelist and Worldwide Edition. Yeah, two of my favorite Game Boy Advance games of all time. I love those games.
I feel like card games are a lot like sports games for some gamers. Like, they shy away from it. They think they're boring or something like that, and maybe they just can't get into them enough and then when you get into it, like the Card Fighters Clash, what is it on the Pocket Color? The Pocket Color has all those card fighting games,
Yeah.
And they're a lot of fun. Yes, they are a little bit more like you have to think and set up your decks and do a bunch of management and stuff like that. But that can be fun too, especially if you're just like wanting to do something on the side and watch a show or something like that. You can do that. So I find that it's a lot of fun. And I really like TCG, like on the Game Boy. That game was so solid. But anyway. And for people who didn't know, TCG refers to trading card game. I just kind of assume that people know that, but I guess
it stands for a total cool game.
That's total what it stands for. Cool gaming. Yeah.
Yeah, I've played the actual Pokemon trading card game since it came out in 1999. I mean, I don't really play it anymore, but I did for hardcore for a number of years there, and then I kind of got back into it again a little bit a few years ago. Still buy some packs here and there, but I've never played the video game version. Actually, I never got it Game Boy originally, and we don't have. I guess no, we do have access to Switch Online, so maybe we could check it out on there sometime. Cool.
Yeah, you should definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun. And Jesse got into it, and he's super into it too. Anyway, we got a lot of news actually. I think did you guys talked about the news last week? You actually were with Pat for that stream, and
until the tornadoes came.
Yeah, until the tornadoes came, right?
So I was like trying to talk about the best of Saturn for last week, Fantastep, and then tornado. So I don't know if you just want to move on to the next thing after that or what.
Yeah, definitely. We can pull up the browser and we
Hopefully
can.
You're right. What was the alarm? Was that in your house or was that like the?
It actually sounded on our cell phones, including the cell phone that I was using to stream myself.
When that was so loud, it sounded like it was like blasting through your house.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's like you can't turn it off unless your phone is physically turned off. If there's like an Amber Alert or a tornado siren or whatever, your cell phone will blast it out of its speakers as loud as it possibly can, and you cannot mute it. So they want to.
Actually, when I put mine on silent, it let me do that.
Really?
You can mute it in the settings. I mean, it's probably not wise. You probably should enable it, but you can. It's like it's like emergency SOS. Let's see if I can find the setting. But yeah, it's in the settings. There's a way for the alerts that you mute it. I don't recommend it because I think with tornadoes you want to mess around with that, and
right.
I think you should probably leave that on. So that's good. I'm just saying that it's an option. Honestly, I probably shouldn't have told you. So now you might want to look to disable it. So I'd highly recommend you don't do that if that's cool with you.
That's fine.
Okay, moving right along. Omar in the comments says he wants to know about the Saru. We're gonna get to that. Okay, so just hang in there, stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
We decided not to cover this week, so come back next week. We'll talk about it maybe.
For the folks that are in the chat, we got 28 folks watching. Please give us a thumbs up while you're thinking about it, and maybe even share out the stream. We can get more people in here. Talking about Saturn, and I guess we'll just pass over Fantastep if you talked about it, because we got another best of Saturn. We can get right into this new bracket, solve the Fenrir gap problem. Dan, this is an update. So this is one of many solutions for this. Is what I'm aware of, right? Somebody mentioned that their Laser Bear also does this, but anyway, go ahead, take it away.
The news here is that these two solutions just came out in the last couple weeks. So they're just, they're new solutions for what to do if you have a Fenrir. So I kind of describe in this story that you can check out on our website that when you put a Fenrir in place of your CD-ROM in your Saturn, it leaves kind of a gap, just like a gaping hole down into the depths of your console. So the industrious owner of the French retro gaming forum Delta Island, his name is X-Rider, I suppose. He has engineered a very professional-looking mounting bracket to take up that space. It's more than just a mounting bracket. It even has like LED indicators for power, card detection, and card read-write access. It's got a switch for setting the console between 50 hertz and 60 hertz, which is an important consideration for PAL consoles. And it has a little SD card reader slot, like an SD extension that'll link up with the Fenrir underneath of it. So you can just have this like easy access to your SD card. You can pop it in and out to add games or take games off, and just kind of like put the card back in your Saturn and off you go. So he's selling them, or he did sell them for about $30 US, with almost $10 shipping. But they are all sold out. At least they were when I wrote this story last week. I'm not sure if they still are right now. I guess I can check real quick. Yeah, I mean,
neat though.
That thing has ended. So, yeah. He did say, I believe, on their forum, I was using machine translation because I don't really know French, that he's going to make some more in September next month. So if this looks cool to you and you're interested in it and the price is right, then I guess wait about a month and keep looking at his eBay seller page, and you might be able to hop on one.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's kind of cool. Looks so nice and sleek.
Definitely. Yeah, it's probably one of the most polished ones that I've seen. compared to like, you know, the typical 3D printed ones. There is the 3D. You did mention the 3D printed alternative, however, and there's that as well, which is probably a lot cheaper, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much it costs to make your own thing. I don't have a 3D printer, but I'm sure it's probably a little cheaper than that. And of course, you can do it yourself. So,
right.
A guy on Twitter who also, as I mentioned at the bottom of the story, happens to be a senior designer on Horizon Forbidden West, the PlayStation game. His name is Dennis Vandenbroek. Hopefully I'm in the ballpark of pronouncing that right. He just bought a Fenrir Duo earlier this month, and he took it upon himself to design a 3D printed bracket for his new purchase. He kind of went through a couple iterations, and he's put all these designs up on a website, like a 3D printing design website that you can just download for free. His first one just kind of like covers up the hole and just locks your Fenrir in there. So hopefully you've got all your games already loaded that you're going to want on that SD card, because you're not going to be able to access it easily. So then he kind of thought better of
my use case.
Yeah, okay. So he thought better of it, I think, and he did a redesign where he kind of has this kind of like a pit, is how I described it, where it kind of has a space going down to the SD card slot on the Fenrir, so you can kind of like get your fingers in there and pop it in and out. And also has like a little holder for a spare card. Sure. But then he kind of came up with probably the best of these three designs, where he actually, in this part, you can't 3D print, you have to buy an SD card extender, and I linked to the one he used off of Amazon. You kind of like have a little slot for the SD, for another SD card, kind of like the tray from X Rider up top at the beginning of this, where it's got an SD card extender going down to the Fenrir. So that's nicest version of it. So yeah, you can just download those designs, which we've got a link to that in our story on the website, and print it for yourself if you want.
Cool.
Down.
Sounds
kind of
like
weird though. I didn't know that. That's kind of cool that the guy at Guerrilla Games that worked on that worked on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Also,
this game getting destroyed by Elden Ring.
Okay, wait a second. So we have 2 news roundups.
Yeah,
the one because we never got to that one.
Oh, we never got to the roundup. Okay. Well, Dan, you're gonna have to go a little faster this week. But yeah, go ahead. Hit us with this Spanish translation of Nanatsu shows signs of life.
Okay, so yeah, Nanatsu Kaze no Shima Monogatari, which is a super cool 2D adventure game with very nice graphics. It has never been translated into another language before, as far as I can remember. Certainly not English, but somebody has been working on a Spanish translation of it for years. His screen name is Mandanga. And he's been working on this since 2007, which is just wild. And I guess he says his translation is about 72% complete, but he kind of took a break there for a few years. And he just made a new post on August 6th saying that he's working on it again, and he posted some screenshots. So looking good.
Cool.
Best. Nice. And check it out. And also, thank you, Malenko, for the $2.
Yeah.
Virtuon is not a fighting game. Is it technically a fighting game? I don't know. I never thought
it's
about that.
It's an arena. It's like an arena battle game. I would. It was like a battling game. It's I mean, because fighting though. I mean, it depends on how you. It depends on how you define fighting, right? Because I've even heard some people use the term brawler to characterize like a 2D fighting game. I'm like, I just call them 2D fighters. Like brawler to me is like a walking, brawler, but I don't know. No, I would consider it like a arena battler, I guess.
Gotcha. Well, Blue Moon 95 is crunch-sharing on that. And he said, $5. Virtuon is a good fighting game.
It's a good fighting game. I'll agree with that. I know.
Blue Moon. We got 2 different opinions going in the chat.
Fight. Put your money.
So yeah, really, I don't. Yeah, like I said, I think arena battle game is probably the closest.
Let me ask you this, Malenko. What is Bomberman Fight? Is that a fighting game, or is that a?
It's
arena battling
simulation
game.
of simulation of the Unabomber.
It's like
it's
get
it's
in
a
the
life
pit.
Story.
Jeez.
Awesome. Okay, so I mean, I'm really, really excited for this game. Nanatsu Kazunoshima Monogatari. This is the Island of Seven Winds. It's very, very dense, text dense, and like details and art dense. Like the whole game is just incredibly dense, is what Greg Lackerware told me, and he said that a translation of this would not be for the faint of heart. I think you guys were even considering it, right? And it's just kind of So I mean, like you said, my hat's off to that guy, and best of luck, right?
I wonder if he'd be able to work with another translation group and just like insert English instead of Spanish.
Shadow Mask says Virtual On is a Sega Saturn game.
Thank you for that $2 Shadow Mask.
Is that what we'd say that?
I mean, depends. If it's the original Virtual On, I mean, yes, that's a fact, but.
Well, no, the original one was
Ontario,
the original one was an arcade game, if we're being honest, right?
But I mean, Taylor's on the Saturn, so it's a Sega Saturn game.
Yeah, Virtual On Cyber Troopers is a Saturn game, right?
Isn't that the same name of the arcade game though?
Was the arcade game full? Like, did the arcade game have the full name, the full title? Okay, well,
I assumed it did.
You know,
pretty sure.
I never looked at the banner. I assumed.
To the ins and outs of how to do an English translation of Nanatsu, we should probably move on.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. Yes, we should. Uncle from Another World.
Yes,
so from Another Mother. Yep, it does have Cyber Troops Virtual On.
Okay.
Okay, very
good. Okay.
On their machine, sorry.
Uncle from Another World is collaborating with Sega's latest iteration of Phantasy Star Online 2, New Genesis. They have a new gacha, which in the game is called an AC Scratch Ticket, where you can pay money and get pulls to get some costumes, hairstyles, and other accessories from Uncle from Another World, from the characters. So you can make your own avatar look like characters from the anime. So that's pretty cool. They also have some like just more general Sega and Saturn things in the gacha, like personal holograms, which are like kind of objects you can just kind of like have out in the world, something just to look at as long as you're kind of in the area. You can make different Sega consoles appear, including the Saturn and Sega logos, right from the Mark III all the way through the I don't think I have a picture of there, but I believe there's a Dreamcast. And then you can also make your head look like a Sega Saturn, either the gray Japanese version or the black American version. You can put a Saturn pad in your hand, so that's kind of fun.
I like the idea of that guy being naked, just having I mean, that was me the other night putting my stuff away, just naked putting my Sega Saturn pad away.
So with these videos, they release these videos a lot, and when they are showing off like a particular item or piece of clothing or something, they'll have just kind of like a default character who's wearing essentially nothing besides underwear, and then whatever item they're showing off. So that's why that was.
Is it possible to walk around naked with just a Sega Saturn controller and PSO2?
Well, it requires you to have underwear. They force you to have underwear by default.
Dang.
So
you get flesh color, and we could get like some nudity.
It does say partial nudity under the rated M for mature qualifier. Anyway,
kind of like Red Hot Chili Peppers with the socks, you know, but instead it's a Saturn
like
controller.
Cover my junk with the Saturn or whatever.
So there's like a creative space mode in PSO2 as well, where you can kind of like build your own like whatever you want, just different obstacle courses, your own like fancy house, or recreate a Sega arcade if you want. Like you do all kinds of crazy stuff. And so they have parts for putting Sega consoles in your creative space as well. So that's
so how do we get this in the thing? Is it like a unlock we can get, or is it like some randomized thing?
Like I said, it's a gacha, so you have to spend real money to get AC scratch tickets, and then you spend your AC scratch tickets on the Uncle from Another World scratch, and then it will give you random pulls from this pool of items.
Wow.
I mean, you can, if other people have done that, they can then sell them on the player shop for Meseta. And Meseta, of course, is just in-game currency you earn from doing any game. So you could spend your Meseta in the game to get this stuff from other people who have spent real money on it.
Have you tried it yet?
No, I haven't, but I'd like to. And Lawrence asked, do they sell mags in PSO2? Yes, they do. They do have console mags, including a Sega Saturn mag that'll follow you around and float by your head. They also have Genesis and Dreamcast. They actually just gave away a free Genesis mag the other day. So I think that's what Bunny has floating over her character's head right now.
Nice. So, I want to get Saturn mag.
Yeah, they do have Saturn mags, which is also fun. Okay,
and SHIRO also sells Saturn mags.
Exactly.
Yeah, we do.
Nice plug.
No, but that would be awesome, like to have the little mag floating over you. I had a hamburger mag back in the day. Fun fact.
I'm not cool enough for mags yet. I'm still a noob in PSO.
What? Oh, okay.
So what's going on with Magic Knight Rare on YouTube?
Yeah, so TMS Entertainment are the rights holders to Magic Knight Rayearth's anime. As you may recall, Magic Knight Rayearth wasn't just a cool RPG on the Saturn, but it was also an anime.
Don't click on that, Dave. They'll copyright us like nothing.
I'm not going to click on it. I'm not dumb.
I'm just giving you a warning because
I'm just scrolling for folks.
No, I'm just letting you know, just because they get me every time I do Magic Knight Rayearth. I always get a copyright claim.
I have no doubt. Yeah, I remember that. But people can see there's
they've got
lots.
Yeah, I think they have all of it. I think they have all the episodes from this anime available. They have the English dub. They do not have Japanese audio with English subs. If you want that, you can check them out on Crunchyroll's service. They also
play the really weird thing where they add the Japanese dub onto the English version of Magic Knight.
What?
You guys didn't know about that? It's an obscure like Saturn mod where they replace the audio tracks for Magic Knight Rayearth, the English one with Japanese. I don't think it's very good, but it does its job, I guess. I play a little bit.
So yeah, you may remember that TMS Entertainment also did this for the first 40 episodes of Slam Dunk's anime, leading up to the theatrical release. Short-lived though it may have been.
TMS did?
What's that?
You know what else TMS did?
What did they do?
Conan?
Detective Conan.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Just want to flex that. But yeah, no, I love TMS. They had Lupin the Third. They did that. They did Detective Conan. Well, they're still doing Detective Conan. They're really great. They're actually one of my favorite companies for anime. Zoom in on that face, Dave. There we go. That's what I'm talking about.
We don't need to zoom in on the face. Jeez.
Look at that guy. He's a rock star.
Just wanna
Writes
touch
all of our articles.
Touch the stash.
I'll write all of them next day. Next one's yours.
Right, most of them.
No, if you guys want to watch Magic Knight Rayearth on YouTube and like the game and want to see what the anime is like, I recommend checking it out. It's a cool anime.
Although I guess it's region locked. I think it might just be a US thing. I saw someone on our Facebook page saying that they were in the UK and they couldn't watch it, so that's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's always the 7 Seas you could find it on. So.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Okay, moving right along. Hideki Sato talks Saturn.
Moving on over.
This was just a whim of an idea that I had, and I'm glad I did it because this video is tracking really well on YouTube. Okay,
he looks very disappointed in me in the thumbnail. Like he's like giving me a set eyes. Like, really, dude? You got the Dreamcast, the GameCube controller?
If I've learned one thing in doing SHIRO for as long as we've done it, is that everything bears repeating. And I always operate under the assumption that everybody has read all this, everybody's reading the same articles and everybody already knows all the stuff. But really, it's just like the most dedicated of us that take the time to like read this stuff, go on, Sega 16 or MD Shock and educate ourselves on, the Hideki Sato stuff and, the Irimajiri stuff. But even though that's been out for weeks now and everybody's been talking about it, there's still a ton of people out there that have no clue. And you can even tell from the comments on this video that a lot of people are still just kind of like operating on half information, and it just goes to show you that, but either way, YouTube picked up, the algorithm picked up this video and YouTube is just like recommending the hell out of it, which is funny because that hasn't happened in like in 6 years of doing this, I've never really seen a video where YouTube has gotten behind it and now it's just like on this upward track. But essentially, the entire point of this was just basically to create a, I'm too lazy to read the book, so I'll watch a movie version of the interview so that people would actually consume this, and then we'll all be on the same page about the whole, second processor, second CPU. Omar Fernandez says reading is dumb. But yeah, no, I mean, you'd be amazed. Like
nerds.
So yeah, like the information's there. It's been there since 2018, but people still refuse to go read it or don't know about it for some reason. So yeah, I just put this up, and it's, folks appreciate the fact that it's up and that they can consume it that way. So I'm doing the same thing with the Arimajiri interview, and that's going to come out soon. And hopefully, any other, and a huge credit to Sega 16 and MD Shock for making this information accessible and available to English-speaking audiences in the first place. Can't thank you guys enough, and I thank them in the video and in the description. So definitely, this wouldn't be possible without them. So
what's the use of the voice though? What's the use of the voiceover thing?
Just AI, just an AI service,
just some random Japanese dude.
To be completely honest with you, it's not Japanese. It's probably more like a Filipino dude. And I'm going to be honest with you, because when you actually try to use Japanese voices with English text, it's so hard to understand because they have to speak in the syllabary, and those voices speak very fast. So it's like, it almost sounds like another foreign language. So I just used kind of an Asian accent to kind of help get folks in the mindset of, okay, this is like, so I don't mean to be, I don't mean to generalize with that. I just wanted it to help folks visualize and, have it differentiate from my voice, because I'm doing the narration in between the segments, and then I have the AI voice doing the other stuff. So yeah, it worked out really well.
It was really well done though.
Thank you. And again, it wasn't planned or anything. It's just kind of one of those things where like inspiration strikes, and I'm like, that would be a great idea. Like, how can we get this information in front of more eyes and ears, and and have more people consume it? Because we can't have the same conversation if we're all dealing with different information, and I myself, up until recently, was operating on completely false information that I got from Next Generation magazine. For the longest time, I thought that it had been a second VDP that was added. And this, of course, completely puts a nail in that. And so does Arimajiri, goes on record. And so does Hitachi themselves, So it's like, it's impossible. If anybody still wants to refuse to acknowledge the truth on that, and there are some folks online who are like, oh, Sato misremembers, or he must not remember correctly. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he remembers correctly,
I can't remember.
Yeah, the thing is, there are folks I'm not going to name names, but there are people online who have done a lot of content. They've done a lot of Saturn content, and to admit that this is what happened is to retcon all of their content, is to basically go back and say, okay, I was completely wrong about all that stuff that I said in my videos. And it was probably because I was citing sources like Wikipedia and Sega Retro, who got their information from Next Generation, which honestly, Next Generation did the best that they could but they kind of slipped on their due diligence. Their cited sources are Sega employees told us, and they don't actually say what Sega employees. And I'm afraid that things were lost in translation. And then instead of asking for confirmation, they probably just made some inferences. They probably just looked at the documentation and said, oh, okay, they must have meant a second VDP. The VDP2 was added. The Yamaha, the VDP2 actually was added at some point in the process, very early on. But that really is the card up there. That really is the ace up the Saturn sleeve in terms of what it's got going for it. In terms of without the Pat, we talked to John Linneman, right? And he even agreed that without VDP2, Saturn really wouldn't be able to compete with PlayStation. But it was VDP2 being able to use that was really what helped the Saturn, do a lot of what it does visually. because it basically takes the stress off of the CPUs to be able to control the characters and stuff. But anyway, so yeah, I won't talk about this anymore. I just want to say that if folks haven't read the interview, they can do it right here at MD Shock, or if they are too lazy to read and they just want to watch it or listen to it, that's great too. I added some visual aids and stuff like that, so there you go. And
with that.
Yeah, and I'm just really happy that that YouTube is taking notice and recommending our content. Actually, I think the only other time they did that where you can really see it was that video you uploaded, Pat, of the Castlevania, which that thing has like 37,000 views or something crazy like that.
That's 23,000. Yeah, I just got lucky. Literally, just the hype of it, just because it leaked, and I think everybody was linking the videos and all their news articles and stuff. That one and the ones that really popped up big were the Castlevania one, the Soccer Wars patch. Mm-hmm. The one I'm surprised, the La Zona Blanca spot that you have up, that you put up.
Oh yeah, that
exploded a lot.
And that's from external sources. I noticed, because it'll tell you if YouTube is recommending it or if all these clicks are coming from external sources. And I know I published that on I published that on Retro RGB, right? So a lot of folks were clicking through to it from there. Nice. Or clicking through to it from our articles. I think I shared it on Twitter as well. So it's like sometimes we get stuff from external sources, and that's what I'm used to, honestly. We have to share the hell out of our content, and all the clicks come from external sources. But it's weird when the video, sorry, you can't see my hand, is going like this, and you're like, okay, it's hit its run, and that's it. And then it's like, whoop. And I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, YouTube's recommended this to 2,000 people so far. So that's great. That makes me happy. It's like all of that work is not for nothing.
No, I agree.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that I don't think there was anything else I wanted to say on it. I was just reading the comments, make sure that. But anyway, yeah. So I'm glad that this is helping some folks. I'm hoping that we can all get on the same page about this stuff. That way we can be educated. Yeah, there's still if you read the comments on this video, it's crazy. There's a lot of people who are still like, I don't know. They don't have all the information. They need to read those Sega documents, and they need to read the Arimajiri stuff, because it's still all of that. Sega of America was to blame, or Sega of Japan is to blame, and I think honestly, folks, there's enough blame to go around. Oh, which reminds me, real quick plug. Nick Panda will be putting out a video on all of this. Like, he had his script and it's great, and there is a video coming on this, so I'm super excited for that. When that drops, I have to say I'm really excited to see that.
So what's the video on again?
It's his summary of everything, all of I believe he'll include all the leaked documents and financial analysis and information from his stream, and then of course the Arimajiri revelations and all of that, like in a Nick video, the way he does it. It's going to be great.
It's going to be on SHIRO. It's going to be on Pandemonium.
I believe it'll be Pandemonium. Okay. I think. Yeah, I believe it's a Panda video, but still, we'll share the hell out of it, and I'm going to watch the hell out of it. What'd you say?
I also want to say shout out that it looks like you got the Teespring sorted.
I did. Yeah, well, I think I did. Let me see here.
I'm looking on the thing. I'm seeing shirts with logos on them, so I assume that we got that all sorted.
Yeah, so if I go to YouTube, yeah, now you can see right here that our shirts are actually showing up, and coffee mugs and whatnot. So there you go. Now you can
Did we get the thongs on there yet, or is that still a work in progress?
The thongs? Well, I gotta find somebody who makes thongs. I don't know.
I wasn't sure if they had those in the store yet. Okay, we're still working on that.
But we've got, classic SHIRO. There is.
If we ship to the UK.
We don't ship them personally.
We don't ship. Teespring ships and Threadless ships, so I do believe that that is an option that they do. Although price may vary. And I will say I was supposed to get new merch up, but I've just been so busy at work. I promise I will, but what's there is still good. Anyway, so there you go. You can get it
also,
right now.
I was looking back on another video. I didn't know the Saturn ODE video I put out exploded. It was like 2.6K.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot of troll comments on that video too. Lots of opinions. One thing is true about the internet is that everyone has an opinion, and people. I'm not even going to comment on half of the stuff. I'm just glad that people are talking about it. But yeah, I mean, I think you did a fine job with that video.
I mean, there's fair criticism. I mean,
yeah, there's fair criticism.
I mean, the video wasn't supposed to be a comprehensive breakdown, just like my opinion thing. But I know that Dan did call me out for an error on there, though. I didn't even see that until he. So shouts out, Dan.
Yeah. Moose Track said. Oh, go ahead.
I just said I don't even remember what it was now, but I vaguely remember something that I just wanted to let you know about. I don't know.
It was the beveled edge thing.
Oh yeah.
I was looking on we looked on mine. I even had Nick look on it when we did the video, and there wasn't a beveled edge on at least the ones that we got from our order. But I don't know if maybe they changed that on the next batch or so. But
yeah,
I had we called it out, and even in the stationary video we did where we didn't see a beveled edge on there. So I mean, yeah, I figured that we couldn't find one. So
Moose Track, he likes the Virtua Pat shirt, and I have to say, shouts go to the artist AM25 who actually did that for us. So huge shouts to AM, who also is a game maker for Saturn. So someone from our community, and so we're really thankful for that. It was awesome.
Yeah, no, Dan, I really appreciate you looking out for me that way, because I know that a lot of stuff I miss. So I mean, if they fix that, I definitely think that's great. So thank you, Dan.
No problem.
Sorry. Come off as weird. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, that was weird because I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was reading the comments and not paying attention to what you guys were saying.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
But anyway,
it's all good.
You did great. I don't want that stuff to discourage you from doing more videos, though, Pat, because I think you make good videos. I would love to see you do more.
I like the feedback. Like I said, that's why I was thanking Dan. I love the feedback like that, and things change, so you never know with some of the stuff. So
true.
I always appreciate feedback, even if it's stuff like not Dan's. I like Dan's feedback is good. The other one when it's like the comprehensive. Someone was saying it wasn't a comprehensive breakdown. So, like I said, feedback is good. If it's good or bad, let me know. I'll incorporate that into new videos. So that's how we get better, guys. Feedback is important.
This is true. So let's see here. It's been brought to my attention that one of our tickers is. What is it? Malenko said that, the table is in front of the ticker, the news ticker. And he's right. So it's like a vanishing news ticker. Which one is that?
The one at the bottom.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to figure out which one that is on my side. Okay, so it's not the sizzle reel. I'm actually trying to find it here. If you knew
put it on there.
If you knew what there it is. Okay, it's the overlay. That's what it is. Okay.
Happens. Wait. How'd someone see my Foxhound tattoo? Did that pop off of my shirt? Yeah, I had it right. Oh yeah, I guess when I was itching, I guess it popped up. Yeah, that's a Foxhound tattoo. I got. Oh,
there you go. Fixed it for you, Malenko.
There we go. Yep.
If you guys, if I could take a screenshot, and I don't want to dox myself, but if you see all the layers that go into making this thing, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, it's why we have problems every time, because it shouldn't even work, but it does. Anyway, let's talk about Sonic fan games. Let's talk about the new Sage 2023 trailer. Knights, my favorite topic, my favorite theme. I think that this artwork is amazing, and I love the fact that they're focusing on Knights this year. Dan, you wrote this story up, right? Yes, so you can talk about it. I'll roll the trailer while you talk.
Okay, yeah, so the Sonic Amateur Games Expo, also called Sage, happens every year, and it's not just Sonic games. It's kind of evolved into just indie games in general that people want to feature. And they have a different theme every year, and this year's theme is Nights into Dreams. So as you saw, there's a pretty cool logo, and there are 3 Knights-related projects that were highlighted in this long sizzle reel here. Now, the deadline, I think, was for actual submissions was maybe I think it's next week. So not everything is even going to be in this long trailer of trailers. but a lot of it is, and there are a lot of cool looking things. So I'll briefly touch on the Knights related projects. You saw that first one was Knights Moonlight Dreams, which looks like it's kind of recreating the original Knights gameplay, but in a more 2D side-scrolling form, using a polygonal Knights character with 2D sprite objects and backgrounds. It's pretty cool looking. And in a few minutes, the trailer will show a piece on something called Knights Open Dreams, which is like a fully 3D behind-the-back flying game in which players guide knights through rings over floating islands to collect blue chips. I mean, it's basically like if you made Knights as a behind-the-back 3D game instead of like a essentially side-scrolling game is what the actual Knights game.
I like that Sonic Battle one.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of cool looking projects in here. I just kind of touched in the article on the Saturn related ones. So the last Knights homage is not a standalone game, but rather a mod for a popular indie 2D platformer that came out earlier this year called Pizza Tower. So it's called simply Knights into Dreams Pizza Tower, and it replaces the playable character with a manic looking rendition of Knights. He's pretty goofy looking.
Goofy boy.
So all three of those projects appear to be running on PC. It's a little hard to tell. But as far as I know, the only fan game in the trailer that is running on Saturn hardware is Slide Hop. And Slide Hop is about 15 minutes in. It was made by a member of the Sega Extreme community that we all know and love named Ponut.
Yeah.
Now, Ponut has been working... What's that?
It's the it looks like it's a use of his Ponut engine.
He's been
game engine.
About 15 minutes in, Dave.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Okay. He's been working on a 3D pony game for years now. I think 3 or 4 years, maybe. And so this is kind of represents his latest progress on it. I don't think he's ever called it Slide Hop before. I think the name is new. And he does have this available to download from a resource page on Sega Extreme, so you can check it out for yourself.
I did not find it at 15 minutes, though. Go back. Maybe. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah, it's real short. Just a real short clip. It's not even finished. Like he doesn't have like finalized flooring there in the clip.
Okay. Yeah, this was originally like unnamed pony game, then it was pony game, and I believe now he's settled on Slide Hop, which is exactly what you do in the game. You hop and you slide, and there's some physics going on there, and it's actually a fun little sandbox kind of like run around, jump on platforms kind of thing. Yeah, so it's cool.
Yeah, it's sort of like it times you, and you run through gates. You try to, so it's sort of like a racing game, but then it's got some platforming going on, and you can collect some rings. Which I guess collecting the rings doesn't do anything yet, but I guess he's probably going to think of something for that. So
there are no ponies killed in the making of this game.
Of course,
but
that's
not,
only in,
can't say the same for XL2's.
Yeah, let's say XL2's game, Hellslave. There's lots of ponies killed in that one.
That's true.
Next up, look at this handsome gentleman with that sexy bald head there at Game On Expo.
Go.
Yeah, so Pat, of course, if you didn't know, was at Game On Expo. He covered it. There's a podcast. You can listen to it. You can also listen to Dan, who joined him reading off the news, and then Dan had her tornado warnings from tornadoes. But yeah, no, you were like you were saying at the intro, you had a good expo. Were you displaying anything? Were you just attending, or did you have?
Oh, no, I was showing off the CRTs.
You had the CRTs, right? You had your games set up. Yeah. How many of those PVMs do you have now?
Personally, I have 5 PVMs and one Dell
I had no idea that you had that many. That's what I thought. Like from the footage, I was like, I didn't know Pat had that many PVMs. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, 4 of them were not mine. 4 of them were provided by by 2 other people.
Oh, okay.
2 of them being Richard, aka Nutrageous, brought 2.
I just thought you were really lucky and you scored a bunch of PVMs.
I have 5, which is a lot, and I think that's
Yeah, no, that is a lot. Okay, so so yours just blessed. Stayed at home, and you used other folks for the show, right?
No, those were all mine.
Oh, they were all yours. Okay, all right, cool.
All the ones I had in my house were at the convention, and then I brought them home.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's rad.
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. They helped a lot. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of people on Smash Remix. We had that going on. A lot of people were playing that. Had Twinkle Star Sprites. That was a lot of fun. And then had a bunch of shmups and stuff. Played Sexy Parodius. Almost got banned from the floor. No, I'm just joking.
Was there much Saturn love there at the show? Anybody repping?
Yeah, there actually was a lot of Saturn stuff there this year.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
There's a lot of games, a lot of stuff for sale. A lot of it out of my price range. Like there's this one booth. His name's Johnny Rogue. He runs a group called Retro Nation that sells a bunch of games, and he sold me the Twinkle Star Sprites. So shouts out. He had a lot of great Japanese games, a lot of good Saturn games. He had a lot of not only did he have a bunch of good Saturn stuff, like he had the Sonic White Saturn, the Nights and the Dreams Christmas Saturn, Skeleton Saturn. He also had MSX 1 and 2s there. And also he also had an FM Towns Morty, which I thought was kind of neat as well.
Oh wow, cool. Yeah, those are pretty rare.
So yeah, he's really cool. Definitely recommend checking him out. If you go to a con, name is Retro Nation Johnny Rogue on Facebook. Cool dude. Recommend going there if you can.
Was there much playable Saturn there at the convention?
There's two of them that were playing Virtua Fighter in the other arcade section, but most of it was my stuff.
Your stuff, yeah. Well, you came and you repped for Saturn, so that's a good thing.
Exactly, and it was a lot of fun. Met a lot of cool people, hung out, met a lot of fans. That was a lot of fun. I didn't expect to meet SHIRO fans there, so I went up from seeing one fan last year to 2 this year. So
I didn't know those existed. That was a thing. SHIRO fans.
Yeah, no, it was really cool.
That's rad.
They're watching.
Awesome. Well, I really hope that I'm able to make it to the next one, because that looked like a lot of fun.
If you are, we'll get a whole invite there. We'll represent the con. We'll have stuff there.
I just want an excuse to come hang out with you, honestly.
That too.
Yeah. I'll go anyway, just because it's close by and I can hang out with you. Okay, great. So next up, we've got new cheats discovered in Shining the Holy Ark. Unless you happen to be a Sega RPG fan and you already knew about this for years, right?
Hey guys,
Yep.
you'll have to do the rest of the show yourself. Sorry. Of course, I can't just have a day off. I have to go do stuff with work, so I gotta let you go.
Yep. We understand. It happens.
Have fun, Dan.
It happens. I mean, even my employer sometimes texts or calls me right in the middle of the show, and I have to sit here and gauge, okay, do I ignore them? How important is this really?
Yeah. So how important is the work?
In most cases, I just ignore it. I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna pretend that I didn't get it.
It'll get done eventually. Just it's gonna.
Luckily for me, they are not Saturn fans. They do not watch this shit. Anyway, okay.
Give it some time, Dave. Give it some time.
New cheats discovered in Shining the Holy Ark. Yeah. So when when Dan shared this, Joe immediately said, "Wait, that's news? I've known about this for years." So apparently, if you were cool like him, you knew about this. But otherwise, if you never know what secrets continue to lurk in Sega Saturn games, even after nearly 30 years. This week saw new secrets come to light as one industrious Shining Force fan discovered new cheats for Shining the Holy Ark that hadn't been known to English-speaking world before now. A member of the site Shining Force Central's forums, S3M, perhaps better known as the person behind the Randomized Gaming Tumblr blog, was doing research for a video about Shining the Holy Ark when he dug up a Japanese fan site called Uepon's Gameland. Uepon's Gameland that had codes for the first-person dungeon crawler released in the West in the summer of 1997. Okay, so here's the video if you guys want to watch it. And see you, Tom. Get some sleep. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you. So just to sum it up, there are several codes here, including a music test, jingle test, sound effects. There's, let's see here. What else? So you've got Permanent stats upgrade, squeak sandals. That's kind of funny. Let's see. Sound tests. Yeah, squeaky sandals, brave apples, unlock all pixels. This code. Okay, quick chickens, Japanese copies of shiny. Okay, so there are different codes for like the Japanese copy or the Western copy. Yeah, so these look kind of. I have not actually read this article yet. You can tell I'm reading it for the first time because I haven't had time. Thank you, Dan, for writing it up. It looks like this stuff is pretty trivial in terms of like the actual gameplay, but still, you know, that's kind of cool.
It's so cool to see
squeaky
these
sandals, loincloth, power undies, goblin helmet. Okay, so there's some like brave apples. There's some cool stuff that you can get here. And if you're super, you know, crazy about these games, which actually this game is a really great game for the Saturn. Folks should definitely check it out. These are action replay codes that you can use, so that's awesome. We're finding out a lot of stuff like this based on unearthed Japanese translations. You know, basically, like there was a ton of stuff that was readily available and knowable to Japanese audiences, right? And it's just the games that we've just been taking years to get the games translated into English themselves, right? But then you have all the magazines and the perfect guides and the newspaper articles and stuff like that are in Japanese, that those are slowly being translated or machine translated and kind of brought over to the West. And it's like now we're finding out all of this extra ephemera, or finding out all these extra details that Japanese folks have known for years.
Yeah, I know that for years because I translated or had it translated or had a friend read to me in Japanese, so I knew all this stuff. Where are you guys at?
Yeah, like
what section are you dudes in?
No word of a lie. For years, for up until Uncle from Another World, right? It was Uncle from Another World that taught me that the Saturn was marketed as a 64-bit console. And I did not know that. I thought that was like some Atari BS, right? But it wasn't just Atari that did that. Sega, they followed suit and they did the same. They were like, well, if Atari can do it, we can do it, right?
Hey, Dave, you need to do the math.
I need to do the math. I need to do some creative math. I thought for a second there, I thought you were going to tell me that I'm a robot, but no, that could be the case.
Just do the math.
If I was a robot, I could do better math. But anyway, yeah, two 32-bit CPUs equals 64-bit. Technically, and they actually put it on that ad. It said 64-bit though, and I was always like, what does they mean by 64-bit though? And I had no idea. And then an Uncle from Another World actually talked about it. Like they actually made a nod to that, to the fact that the Saturn was 64-bit, quote unquote, you know. And then of course in this Sato interview, we hear him talk about that too. So that's just so funny. And I would never have known that if it wasn't for, you know, like Uncle from Another World.
Exactly,
so it's exciting. It really is. Like for all of us game history nerds, it's exciting that this stuff is coming to light. And I guess maybe it never occurred to folks, but I think really that it's all due to machine translation becoming so good. You know, like in the last few years, the advent of Google Translate, being able to use your phone and stuff like that has gotten so good. And I think Nick mentioned OCR, you know, basically like scanning articles in and then having them translated. I think that really is what has made it possible for us to kind of, it's just a snowball effect. And now folks are really like going back to all this Japanese stuff and translating it, seeing what kind of treasures we might find buried in plain sight, basically. Next up, Silhouette Mirage. I really want to know what you think about this game, Pat, because you had to go to Game On Expo, and that meant that you were not able to join us for our treasure cast, which means you missed out on the conversation, and I wanted to know what your thoughts on this game were.
To be honest, I didn't play a ton of it a while ago. I picked it up a while ago, and it seemed pretty fun. It was very pretty, but I'm not really. Yes. I was not really very that great with the mechanics of it. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's one of those ones I have to sit down and play.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. It is a looker for sure. I mean, all treasure games are lookers, right? And they all have great music. They all are colorful, vibrant, lots of action going on. But with this game, I feel like they tried to do too much. You know, they mashed in. Yeah. It had run and gun. It had beat 'em up, platformer, RPG upgrade elements. You know, then there's this polarity mechanic, but you have to turn left to go blue and right to go red, and then if your enemy's on the other side of the screen, you have to like run across the screen and jump on the other side of them to be able to do damage to them. And
I was never like, I know Super Magnetic Neo does something similar where it's like you have to do different polarities and stuff, and it's like I mean, I love Super Magnetic Neo, but I'm really bad at that because I have a brain thing, I guess. So it's like it gets confusing very easily. So a game like this got really confusing. I like it, but like I said, it's a treasure game, and all treasure games have their fun gimmicks. So
yeah, I mean that you just said it right there. Treasure games all have their gimmicks. You mentioned it being a brain thing. That's the thing with treasure games. It's like you have to figure out how to play the games, and once you figured it out, then you have to master how to play the games, right? And there's always, the key features of treasure games is that amazing artwork I talked about, the graphics, some kind of gimmick to make the game unique, something to work your brain, and make kind of give different forms of gameplay because they're always trying to be unique, and then they require the mastering of the gimmick or the mechanic. I feel like this was maybe a test bed for Ikaruga, which it was just much more simple, like in terms of like Zen or in terms of like paring things down to the most simplistic essence. Ikaruga had the polarity mechanic, but it was just so much more realized, it works.
It's a lot more easier. It's like, oh, you switch it, know? It's like not like you have 25,000 controls, you have to do like these. I think that's really the game where Treasure's like, oh, we need to make it complex, but not too complex where it's like a whole thing,
Yeah, I feel like this game has like a spin dash, kind of like Sonic, or not a spin dash, but it's like a dash move, a dash attack. You can press down and then do like a dash into your enemies. But the topography, like the way that the levels are laid out, they're not really conducive to that. I don't feel. So it's definitely, we talked about it in terms of like, how does this rank compared to like Radiant Silvergun or Guardian Heroes, which are also treasure games on the Saturn. And we definitely felt like this is kind of one of those games that if you're a huge treasure fan, or if you've played those other games and you've kind of gotten good, like to that you can be good with those ones, then you kind of come to this one third, this is definitely not for the faint of heart, because it requires a lot. It asks a lot of you, especially in the later levels where it just gets crazy on screen. The left and right polarity mechanic is fine when it's like the introductory level, right? And you just got a couple enemies on screen. But when you're fighting a bunch of, it just gets crazy. The boss battles are fun though. I will say that the boss battles are great. Music's great.
It's
not a cheap game. Go ahead.
For Zeus the chat, is there a discount code we can use at the SHIRO merch store? I don't think there's one for. It's only for patrons at a certain level. They get a discount code.
Yeah.
But I think it's only for the Threadless. We don't have one for the
so
other Teespring yet.
I could actually address that, or actually I could speak to that. Threadless kind of sucks. They only allow one promo code at a time to be active, and because of that, we pretty much could only ever have the one promo code that is basically for patrons. Certain tier patrons to basically get everything at cost, right? The good thing about Teespring is they allow us to run promotions, like they allow us to run, multiple promotions. So technically, yes, we can, and we probably will do something special, like for, the Saturn launch day, or I'll talk to Pat and we'll come up with some clever ideas. Maybe a Christmas or Black Friday promotion we'll definitely do. Where you guys can use a promo code and just get things at close to cost or whatever,
Mr. Bones or something as a code or something like that.
Yeah, just realize that this is drop shipped stuff, so we're not printing it, and we're only making a tiny bit of money anyway. You're pretty much paying Teespring to make this stuff for you, because I don't have the moolah to just run down to the print shop and be like, get me like 500 t-shirts, and then I'm gonna.
And we don't have like the resources either.
Or just the time I don't have like a full like shipping warehouse where I can, it's bad. It's with the magazines. That's like, I can do that because it's like on the way to my work and everything like that. But I mean, if we have to add shirts to that and everything, then it's just too much.
It's gonna be a nightmare. But yeah, you said you bought the shirt and mug just now. I mean, yeah, it's not. I mean, it's cool. Like just the fact that you got it is cool, just because it means you get the word out there. People see the shirts, asking about it, so yeah, I do like that portion of it. That's why I like the shirts. So yeah, don't worry, it's not really about the money with the shirts. It's about like getting the
for sure. It's like I agree. Sorry, Pat. I didn't mean to talk over you, but I agree with Pat. I agree with Pat. The merch is just about people being able to rep us, you know, and the SHIRO margin I think is like $1 or $2 for each shirt, so don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. If you want to tip us, you can on the website. We'll talk about that later at the end of the stream. We didn't really want to like plug that stuff yet because we're not done with the news, but we'll talk about it. Anything else you want to say about Silhouette Mirage? Think folks should play it, Pat?
We can it's a good segue into the next article.
Yes, it is. Oh, okay, great. This is a Patrick article, so shoot.
All right, so Silhouette Mirage. Oh, oops, didn't want to click on that. I went to our YouTube. Silhouette Mirage. Gregory Rasputin, great name, just released with his team, of course, with was it Sonic CD 123 and Malenko, just released a English beta patch for Silhouette Mirage on the Saturn. So what they're doing is taking the PS1's translation script and inserting into the Saturn version of Silhouette Mirage. So essentially giving us a port of what we could have gotten if Working Designs did both Saturn and PS1, but they only did, of course, the PlayStation 1 version of it. Of course.
So there's right similar to what is it similar to what Trekkies did then with Groundia?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, cool. Excellent.
So yeah, currently the tutorial and Area 1 are completely playable in English from start to finish. But the rest of the game has either only a bit of English or still completely in Japanese. They're currently working on the following: the just tutorial text sync correction, 1.2 and 1.3 shops, text beautification and tutorials in 1.2, RAM selection prompt text, and the story text for all the second areas. Right now it looks really good though. It's a really cool look of it. It's a beta. You have to keep in mind it is a beta patch right now, so it's not completely done. It's still in the works. So they got a little bit left to go, but I think it's very cool that we're actually able to play this in English in some form.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like I said, it's still work in progress. It's gonna come soon, which I'm excited for. Well, I mean, it's out already, so if you guys want to try the beta translation, you could do it right now. Download on Sega Extreme. You download there, and then we have it's using the Sega Saturn patcher, so you can use if you just use the guide that we have for Bulk Slash, you could patch it with a complete legit image of Silhouette Mirage that I know you all got, the legit images. And yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on this, and I'm really excited to play it. Yeah, it's on the bottom there, Dave. Like at the very bottom of the article is the tutorial on how to patch it.
Exactly. Okay, cool.
So yeah, go try that out if you can.
That's exciting.
Keep in mind there's going to be a point where it's not going to be in English, so don't be surprised when a crack in the ice appears under your feet.
Omar, thanks for hanging with us. Go to bed. Get some rest.
Robo Dave.
Oh, am I Robo? Okay. Fix
Domo arigato, David Roboto. Everyone say Domo arigato, David Roboto in the chat, please.
Dave, you're robotic again. I am robotic. I am.
Yeah, Dave has returned.
What you guys don't realize is that the real Dave has been gone for months, and I'm just an artificial intelligence, a glitch in the matrix, if you will.
Exactly. He's just glitching up a bit. We have to like kick his legs or whatever to get him to back into English, get back into not robot.
I really am. I'm a snatcher. That's right.
Oh gosh.
I'm just a snatcher.
Watch out, Gillian.
Gillian
Seed. There's a chance you could be. Are you random Hajil though?
Oh yeah, I could be random. That's right.
Oh, that's a spoiler.
I could be Sting.
Snatcher. Spoilers if you haven't played Snatcher. It's been 30 years, so probably should get on that if you haven't already.
Speaking of fan translations and patches.
Speaking of what?
We've got. Oh, Charlie, thanks for the £5. I thought I should let you guys know about other hacks. Dinosaur Canyon from Daytona, USA is now in MKDD2. Sorry, what?
Yeah, we're about to cover that in a little bit.
Okay.
That's coming up.
Also, any news on Soccer Wars 2 in English? Okay.
The only news I have is that they're working on it. I don't know how done they are. I'm hoping that it will be done by the end of the year. I think they I could have sworn they said that they were aiming towards the end of the year, so hoping in a couple of months it'll be done. I think they want to enter it for the Sega Saturn game competition, so it should be done by December if they want to do that. But I think that's the indication that they want to do. And I think there's another one that was there another trailer that was going to get that got a demo that got dropped that's going to be entered for the competition for the game competition this year. I could have sworn there's another one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not off the top of my head.
There's some big names, and we have a stiff competition so far. I think the pony slide.
Well, I mean, Stellar Assault SS. That's available, and that's going to be in the competition this year because last year it was just a demo. Oh yeah, last year it was just the demo of Stellar Assault. This year is going to be heavy hitters. You got Stellar Assault SS. You've got Sakura Wars 2, I believe they're on target. There's other stuff in the works that's very that hasn't been as loud, but I think this year is going to be the hardest one to judge yet. Very. It's
going to be insane.
Oh my god!
So much stuff.
Am I robotic again?
No,
Paul is like, oh okay. Paul's just late to the chat. Okay, thanks, Paul.
See?
Making me worry about nothing. My cover. You're blowing my Snatcher cover. Anyway.
You're random. You're good.
I'm random. So yeah, no. Speaking of that, we've been making some updates to the website, and we want
well, Dave has. I'm not going to take credit for it.
Well, you can take some credit. The thing is, I wasn't the one who created the website in the first place. Weren't you, or was it Kay? I don't know. Anyway,
it was Kay.
It was Kay. Okay, well then shouts to Kay.
Doing this portion of it. I didn't contribute to this portion.
Well, I tell you what. The thing is that. Our biggest strength has always been the community. SHIRO, really. SHIRO might be a podcast that started in 2017, or we might be a magazine, or we might be a Discord community, but it's really not just me and Pat. You know, we are SHIROs, but I mean, SHIRO is bigger than that, and I feel like really the strength lies in the community, the amazing things that you guys are doing. We exist to put that on blast. We exist as a platform, a voice for you guys, so that
we're not a blog.
The whole point is that when you guys do cool stuff, there's a way that you can just blast it out there, and that we have like some kind of means of gaining traction for you guys and the cool stuff that you guys are doing. And we want to put that to work as much as possible by integrating that into the website. And so now, in addition to our podcast tab, which breaks out now into our individual shows, like the mainline podcast, the Editor's Corner episodes, the interview archive, and the weekly live show. Every episode, you can go back and binge 100 episodes of SHIRO show if you want, with me and Pat just waffling for 2 hours.
I did the same thing with Bob when I started Retro RGB. I watched all of his old episodes.
Hey, there you go.
Just binged it.
We got articles broken out into news, Saturn stories, which are more like editorial, long form editorial, Saturn reviews. Got Pat's some articles, reviews of Satiator or ODEs in there, some other product reviews in there, and then of course the Best of Saturn series. You can read every single Best of Saturn series if you want. I clicked on it and there they are. They're all there. Okay, and then of course there's also a new tab called Community, and this is really just the beginning of what I hope to be a feature of cool, awesome Saturn-related community projects. The first being Sega Saturn translation projects, and the individual private eye who has for several months run a kind of like a directory, I guess, over on Reddit. It was kind of just a Reddit post, agreed to basically manage and update a comprehensive directory of releases, Saturn patch releases. Tells you the game. It gives you a footnote here. You can read the footnotes. You can also download the original patch or the SSP. And he even, at the bottom here, talks about Night of Dragons Sega Saturn patcher. You can download the patcher. Shows you talks about how to use it. So that's great. You can even download the .NET runtime that's needed for that.
Along it's really with cool. Like I said, I loved seeing his thing on Reddit. And it's like, we should get something like that, because I think
right?
I forget who it was, discussed it, and they were like, yeah, I don't think Discord's a reliable place for for information keeping.
And I mean, it's nice to have the information in more than one place. We're not necessarily trying to like compete with Sega Retro or anything like that, but it would be nice to have a bunch of cool Saturn stuff all in the same place so folks can grab it.
And that way we don't have to keep asking, oh, what's all translate for the Saturn
absolutely.
So far?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like we just send them this link. It's like, here you go.
There you go.
Have
so
fun reading that list.
You've got every full game release here. You've got every in progress release. That's where there's a patch. Pat was just talking about that with here's Silhouette Mirage right here. You can download the patch right here. It's in progress, but it's been released. You also have English activation patches. That's where English is in the game, but it's been activated by Paul Met through the use of this patch, so that it basically just you boot up the game and it defaults to English. Let's see, like Vampire Savior is a good example of that. You've also got project demos. The Soccer Wars and Soccer Wars 2 were released as a demo. You've got translated utilities, Eggward, and the Sega Saturn floppy disk operator. Those were
Eggward was not
Sega Saturn Lad? Modern Dad. Yeah, it was the Modern Dad, and then of course the FDD.
No, Retro Dad and Modern Lad. That's
right. Retro Dad, Modern Lad. It was the Retro Dad that did Eggward, and then I believe the floppy disk operator was Trekkies, right?
No, I guess one was Knight that did that one. Or was it Trekkies? I don't remember.
Really? I thought it was...
It was Trekkies. Sorry, it was Trekkies.
You know what? We need to...
It is Trekkies, yeah.
This is lacking. I'm going to ask Private Eye to add who did it, because that's not here, actually. And I guess if you click on the patch, it'll take you to the page.
I mean, it'd be cool. I mean, if it's not too much work, just have like a little...
Oh, no, it'd be easy to add another column. It's very easy. That's the wonderful thing about our website tools. It's really easy to just edit this stuff and add another column. There's a lot of flexibility there, so that's good. You've also got ongoing.
I've returned. I've done what needs to be done. I want to say that it could be hard to be like, oh, here's who did it, because sometimes a large team of people did it.
That's like, true. You know, then you just list the team.
People.
That's true.
Team Bolt Slash.
Yes. Okay. So, but either way, so yeah, basically we also have ongoing projects that have not been released yet, but it tells you what language they're being done in. Nanatsu Kaze no Shima Monogatari is like Spanish. Police Knots Spanish. There's a Spanish Police Knots underway, so that's cool. Non-English translations, of course. These are the Chinese, Russian, French, Spanish, of everything else, and there's a ton. There are a ton of projects that are being done in different languages, and of course the patching tools. So that rounds out the translation portion. We've also...
I'm surprised Pendragon was never translated to French. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy.
You'd think they'd at least have that for United States, for the North American, and then European releases. That's
Panzer Dragoon, the original game, or the Saga?
No, Panzer Dragoon, the original game. It says right here that has a French translation patch.
Oh, okay. Weird.
Which is kind of crazy.
The game almost has no language. Like the whole game, you can pretty much understand it without any words or dialogue. But,
no, I get that. It's just weird that, maybe that's like made for the story, but still.
Of course, online play. You guys can get your Saturns online in 2023 and 24. Joe is going to pick up the. I've got it as far as it needs to go now, and the rest is up to him. So I've given him editor role, and he can add to this or take away or whatever as much as he wants. But I'm putting Joe, Sega RPG fan, in charge of this because he is the creator of all of this, what made all of this possible, the tunnel, the Dream Pie tunnel, and we absolutely love him for that. And you too can get your Saturn online, believe it or not, and play some really cool games.
Play us online.
There are like 14, and if you don't count duplicates, there's at least 10. There's at least 10 solid games, maybe 12 or something like that. Individual games that I'm not counting like duplicates in English and Japanese, but there's a really good handful of games that you can play online on the Saturn, so it's actually really cool. Blue Moon is awaiting a virtual on Netlink tournament. Good taste. Of course, we have the Saturn Sega Saturn references in film and television from Death Scythe. I still need to add screenshots because I guess they didn't come over in the porting of this, or one did, but weird. Anyway, yes, it's weird. And I'm not even sure that this format is going to work because these screenshots are so tiny. Maybe we need to just go, instead of a table, maybe we just need to have it be, blocks
like underneath it.
Yeah, and if there happens to be like YouTube clips or something like that, then we, this can be as detail rich or as we want it to be, really. So sky's the limit in terms of like how much detail and how much depth we want to add to this. But at the very least, due to the work from Death Mask, which we're very appreciative for, you now have just a real quick, you can tell exactly like at what time code and what film a certain Saturn reference is in. Like, of course, Mallrats has Brody playing the NHL All-Star Hockey for Sega Saturn.
That was filmed near my house.
Was it really?
Yeah, it's filmed in New Jersey, in the mall in Milltown.
Jersey, that's right. Okay, I was thinking Arizona. I was like, wait, no, what? No, that's right. That's from Jersey.
I mean, To Bill and Ted was actually filmed in the mall near me, the original Bill and Ted.
But
it was filmed at the Fiesta Mall.
This kind of stuff this might be trivial to some folks. I mean, I guess everybody cares about different stuff, but to me, this is amazing. Like, I love this, and I love just like how much of a passion project this is, and how comprehensive a list they're building. Death Scythe is not done. They're still going, and they're still building out this list every time they find something. I kind of am hoping they add manga too, like Saturn references in manga, and anime. Well, I guess anime would be in here with TV and film, but basically like in manga, that would be great. But that's even more
it's really
obscure.
Cool that we got to go as references to all these shows, though. Like I didn't realize half these shows. Like I know Eva, Eva had one. I didn't know EastEnders or King of Queens has Saturn references in it, though.
We do have a homebrew page coming, but it's still under construction, and I'll let you know when it's fully built out. But definitely, like what we would be missing a trick if we didn't create some kind of a feature for homebrew software. So we want to have a page right on our website where you can literally access a list of all of the homebrew stuff that's out, and maybe even have video clips of it, and be able to plug the cool stuff that you guys are doing. I hope that there are other.
I'm seeing the homebrew right now. It seems pretty comprehensive on the bottom.
I thought that, but I think it's only okay. So I think the thing is that this page is private. Oh wait, see, I get a page 404 error, so I don't know.
Okay, I said it's private. I can see it on my
end.
Oh,
it's because I'm not logged in. Yeah, I'm not logged in, but Pat is, so he can see it. But essentially, when I have it fully built out and it's ready for prime time, then you guys will see it, and I'll let you know.
It looks good, though. Take my word for it.
Yeah, it's just not complete because everything needs to be organized, more organized. But anyway, I'll get there. But yeah, so I hope that there are other ways, and I'm open to suggestion. I hope that there are other ways that we can use this website for the benefit of the community, because that's what I feel like it's not serving its true purpose if it's just promoting us, and SHIRO show or whatever. But the website really needs to. I want it to do double duty. I want it to really help promote all of the cool stuff that the community is doing, which is the whole point.
Kind of like with the retro RGB almost.
Yeah.
Except for hyper focused.
Exactly. You of course can also. Did I get Panda's videos on here? Oh, so yeah, you can get all the Panda videos, and there's a Pandemonium link right on here too as well that takes you right to this page. So
speaking of retro RGB, you can actually access retro RGB on our friends section.
Oh, that is true. Yes.
So if you have to leave our website to get to retro RGB as well. Just click on that. And
if you go merch, I do have Teespring and Threadless right now, just in case but I mean, we might be getting rid of the Threadless, to be honest, if Teespring proves to be more flexible. And then of course, social takes you to our Discord. Please join it. Why are you watching this video if you're not a member of our Discord? Please. That's what I mean. Throughout the week, you're going to find out about so much that you won't even hear about on the show. So that's the great thing. And you get to talk to Panda, and you can talk to us, and you can talk to a bunch of these geniuses who are way smarter than me about Saturn programming, and ask all your questions.
You can give me criticism and be like, Patrick, why do you suck at games?
There's that too.
Like
my only question is, Patrick, why do you suck at games and not make more of those funny videos where you basically roast yourself?
Time.
Time is the answer. That's true. But man, that video was gold. That video was like YouTube gold. Facebook page, Facebook group, Twitter, friends, Dreamcast Forever, Emerald Nova. We probably need to get more folks on here. Retro RGB, of course. Yeah. Saturn Junkyard.
Oh, well, speaking of speedrunning, I forgot to mention I did beat Resident Evil 2 on the Dreamcast at Game On Expo.
Let's talk about, oh God, we have this roundup. I don't know why I didn't. Because
I just forgot to mention that.
He just wrote it up. That's right. He just wrote it up. Okay, so we need to go fast. Dan's back. I'm going to have him blow through this.
Dan is back, but don't have him blow it.
Well, no, I'm just going to have it run through it because I do have to take Jesse to swim lessons.
Gotcha. Okay, Dan.
But no, that's okay, Dan. You can go to breezy pace. It's fine. I'm not gonna. Okay.
So there's a Knights Lego set that a fan designed and submitted for kind of like approval from Lego. Lego has this program called Lego ID where you can submit a design, and if it gets to 10,000 supporters, random people saying they like this, then Lego will consider actually making it and selling it as a real product. And the Nights into Dreams one just hit 1,000 supporters last week. It has been
awesome.
Up September. Although it's like if you hit a certain number of supporters within a certain amount of time, then they give you more time to get to the 10,000. So he had until November to get to 1,000 supporters. He got a few months early. And now he's got until May of next year to reach 5,000 supporters. And if he makes it, then he'll get another 6 months to get to the 10,000. So hopefully, he can kind of get a Katamari going here of support and, get those numbers up. And if anybody wants to support it, you just have to make like a free little Lego account. I did to support this project.
Yeah, same.
You make a little Lego account and you can click on the link through the story on our website and go to the page here and like it. And the person who created it, his name is Takuro. And
that is so cool. I mean,
he made Knights and Rayala and the little castle looking thing, the clock tower thing.
Right.
But,
the Twin Seeds tower.
Yeah,
that is amazing. That is so cool. And you got the cute little Knightopians.
Yeah, it's got Knightopians.
This is awesome. Every Knights fan needs to back this for sure. And I know there's more than 1,000. There's a lot of us out there. We may be kind of, buried in the woodwork, but I know that there's a lot of Knights fans out there. They should. I just don't know if they're Lego fans too, but they definitely should back it. That's awesome. Cool. I didn't realize that Lego did that. Like that they gave you like those time extensions like that. Yeah. I figured. Yeah.
It's like Daytona USA time extension.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So the Saru flash cartridge project that was revived earlier this year, can be bought right now online, but catch. So it's available on AliExpress right now, but it's not being sold by Saru's original developer, TP Unix.
Right. Knockoff, right?
Yeah, it's a knockoff, essentially. It's not a problem inherently that someone else is making it, but there's a problem regarding support going forward. So in SHIRO's Discord server, which, as you said, everyone join up with, Derek Pasquarella, also known as A-Team, said that he's been told that TP Unix plans on redesigning the Saru to use a different, more affordable FPGA board.
Right.
And he plans on selling that himself eventually. It'd be real nice to have something more affordable than the current design that's available for free on TP Unix's GitHub, because the one that's being sold on AliExpress right now is going for like $197 plus ship, which is real pricey. I mean, sure, you've got like a satiator, which costs more than that, but I mean, I think I've heard that this one that's on AliExpress right now might be a little buggy. It does work. They do have a video on their listing where you can booting up and someone's picking different games and playing them. So it does work.
Right.
But Unix isn't working on this board. Not only is he going to switch to a different board that's going to cost less, but he's going to, develop the firmware and make it run better and probably add new features. and all that new firmware is not going to work on the board that's being sold by AliExpress right now, because it's going to work for the new design, the new FP. So now, I mean, maybe the people selling this AliExpress version, maybe they're going to develop their own firmware separately. You know, maybe they'll do their own thing. So maybe it'll get its own support. Who knows? But
maybe
we know
they'll just put it online and just dump it and have people buy it and have no support for it and tell them.
I mean, this is very experimental, folks. Like, I mean, yes, it does work in theory and it's a great idea, but I hate to break it to you. Like, look at that. Does that look like a beveled edge to you?
Yeah, and like Omar said, just for the board, no shell. Yeah, there's not even a shell with this thing, which I'm sure TP Unix will have a shell on his cartridge when he eventually sells.
I mean,
yeah,
so
it's a risky proposition. I mean, they even say in this broken English, you know, some games get stuck on loading screen. Some games get stuck when loading. It's like, yeah, it's very finicky, and it's very big risk. It's a big risk. So, like, I mean, you're rolling the dice with your $200. It's cool to be the first to have it, and
the reason,
I mean, not to even mention the big lawsuit magnet on the top left of that right there.
Oh yeah. They just went ahead and did it, right? Don't you just love China? They're just like, forget. We're just gonna put the Sega logo right there, you know?
Yeah. So
what are they gonna do?
Fine.
So yeah, it's like it's cool and all. Do you guys want to roll the dice on that and hope it not only does it work, but it's gonna get support in the future? It's like,
doesn't Sega have ties to the Yakuza though? Because they could like, no, I'm just kidding. But
I was gonna say, I don't think they're gonna fly over Japan or China to go kill somebody.
Right? Okay, it was a joke.
To my knowledge.
But I have to be honest with you guys. Like, so the reason why I think this is a terrible idea, and actually we have a member in our Discord who was like, "Oh well, I bought it, so I'll let you know how it is." Right? And I'm actually really excited to see how it is. You know, the problem is with this. So when it comes to troubleshooting it, how will you even know if it's a problem necessarily that you're having with the cart or with your cart slot? Because I can honestly, verifiably tell you that, like, as a Saturn fan for over 25 years, or 28, I don't know, however, was it 30 years now? I'm not keeping track of time. But the point is, we all know that cart slot sucks. And I've had OEM backup carts corrupt because of that cart slot. I've had Netlink carts not register because of that. I've had numerous problems because of that cart slot. And now if I'm trying to troubleshoot an unsupported product, basically like an unofficial bootleg product that uses that cart slot, how do I even know if the problem is it
the cart slot
Trekkies
or is it the cart?
Clean your carts. But no, seriously, it's beyond just cleaning your carts. I clean all of my carts with 99%. Yeah, like, I don't know, is that too strong? 99%? But that's
I use the rust remover on them. Just get all the content. I'm joking.
But seriously, that's the problem is troubleshooting. I would be afraid because they could just say, "Oh well, it's not our problem. It's the cart slot." You know.
Yeah, in all honesty, once the Saru comes out and it's supported, I'm literally just gonna get a dedicated Saturn, shove it in there, and not even ever unplug it. I'm just gonna take the SD card out, and then if I want to play online, I'll just get another Saturn. It's not worth it.
Even the satiator, to be honest with you, every time I take it out and put it back in, I kind of, and yeah, that's what she said. But anyway, every time I take it out and put it back in, I always worry that you
might get a surprise.
I always worry that I'm just damaging that slot, that VCD, because I don't know what the tolerances are of that VCD card slot.
I think I've heard they're pretty rugged. They go back to form afterwards. So.
Okay, this is going nowhere good. Anyway,
no, but I know what you mean though. It's like like we don't have any like long-term tests for that. It's like if it's gonna,
nobody's really used it that much.
No pun intended. Go in and out and just remove and unplug it.
Yeah.
If it's gonna cause damage over time.
Right. So I don't know, but anyway, I mean, it's always been a kind of a great idea. Like everybody wants, and maybe folks who use like the Saturn Gamers cart have something to say about this. Like, I mean, I know they're probably just setting it and forgetting it and using the gamer's cart, backing up their saves to SD card, doing that. This is a set it and forget it kind of option for sure. Like, this is the kind of thing that once you set it, the idea is that you pretty much would have everything that you would ever need. But Double Dime or Slowcoin here, also made the good point that it doesn't do Netlink. How are you going to play Netlink games now, right?
So the Saturn is how you do it.
So I guess you have to not care about that. You have to not care about that. Or, essentially it could technically through FPGA have potential for that. But again, like, do you expect these guys from AliExpress to write that code or to get it? So I don't know. Maybe just wait for the official thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you need another port for that as well, because you'd have to, you'd have to physically add a port for a Ethernet or I guess a dial-up thing. Honestly, I'm really excited. I mean, I'd love to have a FPGA implemented Netlink, just and use that and have it like finally set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Everything in one ODE, 4 meg cartridge, save, and a Netlink. Like, that would be perfect. I can't think of another reason you'd ever want to remove it ever again after that. It's like you stick it in there and never take it out. The good thing.
And real quick, Dave, we have questions in the chat about, is it like an Action Replay built in 1 meg, 4 meg? It has RAM in there, and it'll run games off an SD card. It has, it's kind of an all-in-one solution there.
Theoretically, this would be able to handle the full fat version of Pseudo-Kai, not light, but it would have like Pseudo Saturn on it. It could handle all of those Daismon 2 games, you would be able to play the MPEG games because your VCD card slot is empty.
They might even implement a 12 meg so you can play Heart of Darkness on it.
And I don't want to misquote Anthony, Knight of Dragon, but he did tell me that cart slot has a really fast throughput, like it has a really fast data transfer. So it would be, you'd be able to. It would be I believe he said it would be just as good as the Satiator, in terms of like boot time and, transferring data. It's not limited in that way, at least. But yeah, it's expensive. And this is like not for the faint of heart. This is for like those folks who have money to burn and they want to be on the bleeding edge and they're just interested in a completely experimental product. But if you are that person, then go for it.
My thing is, did we as SHIRO want to roll the dice and try it, or just wait for the other solution? Because I mean, we could test it and see how this is, but it's like with the official guy coming out with it, it's like, why would we?
That's the thing. That's the thing that I kind of. Yes, I want it. I would love it, but I kind of want to wait and support the dude who actually made it. You know what I mean? Instead of buying it from some random seller on AliExpress like, am I wrong?
No.
What do you think about that?
Like, I mean, I think part of me is mixed. I would like to try it just so we can talk about it and like have a comprehensive overview and every ODE.
Yeah.
But part of me is like, I mean, technically they're coming out with another one that's
Put it in.
Out with the same one. That's the official version.
Why don't we have a poll, and why don't we let patrons decide? Because it's going to be their money that's spent on pooling in together to buy one. So it's like, do they think that we should do it and write about it, or do they think that we should wait for TP-Unix or TP-Unix to do it?
That's actually good. That's actually a good point.
I think that we should let them decide. That way, it's not for us to say, but. What I will say,
exactly, it's their money. If they want us to do it, then like I think
just make a poll and maybe put it. I've had so we did the same thing. We did this with those AliExpress replacement cases, and of course the buy-in on that was a lot lower, right? And they were absolute garbage, right? I mean, they were everything I thought they were. The thing that impressed me the most about those is how quickly they got here and how well they were packaged. Like, to get in like layers and layers of bubble wrap. You could have thrown that thing out the back of a UPS truck and it would have bounced down the street and it still would have been okay. But the cases themselves were absolute garbage. And I gave one away to Joe for one of his games, and he was like, good enough. So I mean, I guess like that's the thing is if it's good enough, I have certain standards, and I'm just too much of a, you know, OCD about that kind of stuff. But some people are just like, it's good enough, you know. So yeah, I guess there's stuff for everybody, right?
Exactly. So yeah, we'll post the poll. We'll let Discord people know as well. We'll at them that the poll on Patreon's gonna go up, and then we'll be like, yeah, if you guys want us to review this, we can. If not, if that's something that you'd rather wait on and save the money on something else, then we do it. But more than likely, it's gonna be either me or Dave. I don't think we're gonna brave two of them.
No. I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it. I don't want to risk my cart slot.
He's let me put it in and take a risk.
Go ahead and sacrifice your own cart slot.
Dave's a man of honor. He's like, why don't you infect your cartridge slot for me, Patrick?
Yeah. Maybe we can give it away after. Maybe we can do like a raffle or something, or not a raffle, just, you know, like a
Patreon giveaway.
Have everybody put their name in the hat, you know, and see who gets it. Like
Pat in the hat. Wow. That's a first. I've never heard that one. Literally, I think that's... Someone actually called me Patrick Star the other day. I'm like, cool. I've not heard Pat in the Hat, so that's kind of cool. I like that. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'll do the... For slot. Oh my God, Sasquatch.
Raffle for the sloppy seconds.
Wow.
Seriously, I'm not kidding, guys. Like, this does not look like a beveled edge to me. I'm just saying. That edge looks pretty sharp. So good luck, Pat.
Oh my God! All right. Well, like I said, Pat needs the top hat. No, but then I'll be top hat gaming man then, right? No. But yeah, like I said, we'll put a poll up there and we'll see what Patreons think. If it's a yes, I'll get it and I'll test out. I'll put the bomb. No, it's just joking. It's probably be fine. I'll put the device in my Saturn. Hopefully it doesn't blow it up. Hopefully my cartridge slots won't blow up.
Pro Steel isn't kidding. We should make a cart slot replacement. I mean, that's tooling. That's fabrication. Yes, because there's like the metal.
That's a lot of work.
That is a lot of work. And even installing it, like only like professional modders would be. That's a lot of soldering to completely replace an edge connector like that. But I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, it would be cool. But I mean, like, if the pins on that are so small, it's just like.
Trekkies doesn't think it's the build quality. Is it the size of the pins? Is it the oxidation? It's the pin density. Yeah. I would agree with that. You can't really like bend them. You can't really perform. You could do that with the Genesis. You could take it apart and you kind of bend the pins back. You can't do that with the Saturn. They're so tiny, you know. But you know, the community has done some crazy stuff. So I wouldn't put it past some crazy person to do something like that. I don't know. I would never get it. I wouldn't rule it out. Did we miss anything? Was there something else? There was. Talk about this one, Dan, and then we'll have to call out our patrons.
Call it quits.
Okay, well, this is the last story.
This is the last story.
Made it. So an industrious modder has inserted Daytona tracks into Mario Kart Double Dash, the GameCube kart racer. It looks to me like he took tracks from the Dreamcast Daytona USA 2001 and put them in there. He's got 3.7 Speedway in there, Circuit Pixie, Mermaid Lake, and Dinosaur Canyon. And he replaced the 4 tracks in the Mushroom Cup of Mario Kart Double Dash with those 4. So you can have like a Daytona Cup, essentially. And it's still, at the end of the day, Mario Kart game. Everything else is unchanged. It's just you are on these Daytona tracks. And they did to being the original, the Daytona music that would go along with these tracks. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thing. Yeah. So we've got a link on the in the story on our website to download the track mod. And then he's also got a guide. It's all on the Mario Kart Double Dash wiki, and there's a guide on how to install and play the mods. I suppose you'd probably be playing it on like the Dolphin emulator or something.
I wonder if you can mod it and play it on a retail GameCube. I should try that.
I don't
Now I know what he meant by MKDD. He said that, I was like, wait, what? Oh, okay. Yeah, Mario Kart Double Dash. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat Double Destiny.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat. That's what I was like. MK. I always think Mortal Kombat. I never think Mario Kart, but it's true. That's funny.
Yeah. Yes. This is all. Yeah, I lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry, Dan.
Yeah, it looks like you could put an ISO and run it on a GameCube. I was
gonna say, yeah, you're like patching the game. You're like kind of like rebuilding the game with different tracks.
I'll try it.
You had like some kind of an SD card mod or something for the GameCube. I think those exist, so you probably could just play it like that.
Oh yeah, like the Gecko. Yeah, those. Gecko. There's a lot of different solutions for that. So yeah.
But yeah, he just did the 4th track of this Dinosaur Canyon on Monday, just a few days ago. But he started like 8 months ago. So it's taken him a while to get these 4 tracks in the game, but
yeah. I like your thumbnail, Dan. You're getting better at these. Very colorful.
I have gotten a lot of practice.
You gotten a lot of practice.
Hey,
there you go.
That's how I did Photoshop. I just kept doing it. Practice makes perfect.
Yep. No, I like it. I do. Excellent.
Keep up the great work, Dan.
Anything else we want to say about? So in the show today, just for folks who are like joining us late, we skipped Fanastep. We had new brackets solve the Fenrir gap.
About Fanastep.
We talked about it last. I thought Dan said you didn't talk about. Okay, great.
No, we talked about it. It was in the middle of it.
All right,
finish it up.
All right. Yeah. So we talked new brackets for Fenrir. Solve that gap problem. Got a roundup of cool things like the renewed translator. I don't know, more work on the Monogatari translation in Spanish.
If you're topless Saturn lady.
Yeah, you got go check out Magic Knight Ray Earth on YouTube, I guess, and some what is it? PSO2 merges
gambling,
with Uncle from Another World to offer you some gacha stuff, and then you got Hideki Sato talks Saturn. Check out the video. It's or read the article on MD Shock. It's fantastic. Great information. Sonic Amateur Game Expo Sage. Expo, yeah. Trailer and highlights, and of course, shouts to Ponut, who has Slide Hop as an entry there. Of course, shouts to Pat, who went to Game On Expo and gave us the rundown of that one. No, I'm not going to skip you. Cheats discovered for Shining the Holy Ark. Go check them out. And then Silhouette Mirage. You can enjoy this game despite my harsh criticism. Actually, no, I think it's great. I just think it's just probably one of the more demanding games. Robot Dave is malfunctioning again.
You're good. No, you're good. I don't know what Omar's talking about.
Okay, well, he's just trying to make me worry. He's blowing my cover, these people. Anyway, so you can go download the work in progress Silhouette Mirage patch. And of course, shouts to all of our community members who are helping power the SHIRO site and make it better. And again,
it's a great news roundup.
Yeah, it's a great news roundup. Definitely check out, go support that Nights into Dreams Lego build, because I'm not even a Lego builder and I will get it. Definitely. Like, I want one. And then, of course, check out the Saru. Let us know if you want us to buy one and mess around with it.
It'll be on a Patreon poll. If you're a patron, go keep an eye out. I'm going to put the poll up either tonight or tomorrow.
You know what we can do? I have an idea. Pat gets the Saru, right? And then we bring it to PRGE and we put it in the Pluto. There's an idea. I'm just kidding.
No. Yeah, I'm sure Adam would love that.
Adam, we're just gonna ram this into the Pluto.
I'm sure nothing bad will happen to it whatsoever. I'm sure nothing, and just blows up the system.
Just ream the Pluto. No, I mean that would be terrible, but you could still keep it on hand as a threat, you'd say. And the Pluto explodes.
You better not mess with us.
The Pluto cannot compute. Just
really cool
stick it in.
Play that.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't want anything in that Pluto. Well, we put a satiator in the Pluto. That was okay. But
I mean, we had to. We had to.
Yeah, we didn't want anybody touching it. Buy it. At least buy it dinner first.
It's only about hookups with it. But no. Yeah, I think that's about it, right?
that's it. If you want to join the Patreon, there's links, social, so you can, under support on our website, you can join our Patreon, or you can make a one-time donation. Thank you for everybody who supports us financially on Patreon. You help us run the site. You help us run the podcast. You help us go to PRGE. You might be helping us buy a Saru, but that's up to you guys.
What you guys want.
And any other cool stuff that you guys are interested in us helping us do, where finances are needed. But we don't necessarily need you to support us financially. If you can just like the streams, like the videos, and share them on social media, that helps a lot, because YouTube is retarded. Sorry, YouTube. And it seldom knows like what cool stuff is. It's always showing me
ableism, Dave.
Sorry?
No ableism, Dave.
Ableism? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's right. That's on me. Knee jerk. That's growing up in the 90s. I'm sorry, guys.
90s term.
No, yeah, I really apologize. YouTube is not with it when it comes to. You're totally right. Yeah, I'm 40 years old, and that is total 90s on me. So I apologize.
Trust me, I do the same. Well, I don't say. I mean, I do similar things. I'll say it's like, oh, I probably should say that. Never mind.
No, it's stupid. It's like saying Kleenex when I mean tissue. You know what I mean? And it's so stupid that it's like ingrained in us when we're little. I'm even trying to tell my 10-year-old not to say that, and then I say it. But anyway, YouTube is dumb. YouTube is stupid. We still love you, YouTube, but you're stupid. Sometimes you don't know what good stuff is and what bad stuff is. It's always trying to show me like videos I'm not interested in. But anyway, so that's why you guys can help us. I'm just putting my foot in my mouth now. So go ahead and take it down.
It's cool. Much love, Dave. Much love. We all love you. So shouts out to our $10 and up patrons: A Murder of Crows, Emerald Nova, Johannes Fetz, Nate Lawrence, Shadow Mask. Welcome back to the party, Shadow. Love you. Blue 95, Cerillion, Chris Piper, Chris 1997X, I guess. Dana Fredrickson, David Zaney, Derek Pascarella, aka A-Team, Fat Drunk Friend Otaku, Jim Clasher Vank, Justin, Momphis, Normal Guy, Newt Rageous. Shouts out, thank you again for the help at PRGE. At Game On Expo. Love you, aka Richard, not Rageous. Love you so much. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. You saved the day. Love you, CRTs. Much love. Robert Ramsey, Rowan Dish, Sega Steve, Stoneman, Tanuki Trev, Theron Brown, and Young Money Wee. And we also have to shout out a donation we just got.
Yes.
This just came on before the show. Is a $40 donation from a what's the name? Michael Seba. I'm gonna look at his name because I'm gonna do it better. Sorry, Michael. Oh. Yeah, Michael Seba. Giving a message, keep it up. So thank you very much for the $40 donation. Much appreciated. Helps the SHIRO, helps us run. SHIRO helps us get the magazines out there. That's like almost 4 months of hosting. So thank you very much. Yeah. Much appreciated. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you want to get shout out the $10 and up level, you can shout us out on or if you want to get $10 up level, you back us to Patreon, you get shout out on the show, get a cool bunch of benefits. $3 and up, you get access to the Discord, got some polls and stuff we can incorporate you into, and other stuff. So I'm pretty excited. Speaking of which, we're gonna get that poll up for this Saru, and once we review that, it's gonna be a Patreon exclusive for a little bit, and then we'll let people outside of that know. We'll do like a video afterwards or something like that.
So what tier do they need to be if they want to be unmuted on Discord?
I think that's the $10 up. I think
it's $20. It says on the site.
That's the $20 tier, because then you're basically interjecting into the show, which we don't mind, but it can get to be a lot now that we've got like 3 hosts on the show, and then so
but I mean, it's a benefit. You're paying $20 to do that, so it's like, to me, it's worth it. I'd be willing to deal with it.
Like if you're like Emerald, then you can like plug the con. Well, he doesn't even have to plug the con. We do that anyway. We're gonna plug the heck out of that contest. but Emerald just likes to.
Makes you wonder. We have to plug out his Patreon he's working on.
We do. I told him we would. I told him we absolutely would. I'll plug the hell out of it.
So I'm gonna go talk to him about that, and we'll get it sorted.
Yeah, no, Emerald has supported us since the very beginning, and we're very, very appreciative. All you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, thank you again, everybody that backs us on Patreon and all, or gives us any money. Thank you very much. That is much appreciated. I really appreciate it. And yeah, like we have a lot of retaining ones. Like I'm looking at the pledge deletion, and like there really isn't a lot. There's like maybe since this year there's only like maybe 4 or 5. So we really appreciate that, and we understand that if you have to, it's you know, money's tight nowadays, so it's no worries. I just really want to shout out people that stick with us and support us on Patreon. It really means a lot, and your money goes to good causes, for SHIRO, of course.
Yeah. Also, I want to reiterate that folks really need to join the Discord. If you've been like, I don't know, maybe you haven't downloaded Discord, or you're not interested in whatever this weird Discord thing is, but I swear if you download Discord and you get in there, there's some fun stuff for you guys. You can chat Saturn, you can chat Dreamcast and 32X and Genesis, but you can also partake in our online tournaments. Shouts to Double Dime for heading that up. There are forum threads. You can create your own forum thread if there's some interesting, you know, hardware topic you want to discuss. We're having like a guess that Saturn music game, and there's a few folks partaking in that, but it would be even more fun the more people that add on. But definitely a lot of cool Saturn conversation going on in our Discord. And I always say, like, if you're in the Discord, then you definitely have your ear to the ground in terms of anything Saturn going on. You're ahead of the curve. You're ahead of the show, even.
Exactly. You know? So if you guys want to keep in the loop on all the fan translations, all the projects, every single one. I mean, besides the Sega Extreme one, I'd recommend check out the Saturn Discord, because we're going to be covering all of that in our Discord as well, and talking about that, and also discussing it. And like I said, if you have questions, let us know in the Discord. But like, hey, I want to get a satiator. What do you guys think? Or I want to get a rare Phoebe for some reason. I don't know why you'd want to, but there's an option there for you. I mean, about like any options, like, oh, does this game suck? What do you guys think of this game?
Right.
Does it have fan translation? There's a lot of cool things you can do with Discord, and I really hope
it's also
that you guys join.
It's also pretty drama free. Like I can't say 100%, but knock on wood, like we have very little drama in our Discord, and I love that. You know, lots of really great people. That's what makes it good.
And honestly, when I'm feeling down, I like go in the Discord and chat a little bit and get some good chat on. So definitely recommend it. Can we chat about Gex? Yeah, we have hardcore Gex section.
This is true.
You have to be over 18 to participate in a hardcore Gex.
That is so
and
inappropriate.
Make sure to bring protection when you do it too. You don't
bring the protection for the Gex section.
Yeah, the Gexion.
The Gexion. That's right.
Yeah, a very Gexy community. Thank you, Pandemonium.
Oh,
Couldn't have said it better myself.
There's even a special Panda room, right?
Yeah,
it's got padded walls.
Talked about that. We have special Discord stuff.
It's like a bouncy castle.
I don't know if you get both for the Patreon. I think you only get one of ours. So if you do both of them, you get both of them. You get a Panda Pad and the general.
That's right.
But yeah, it like I said, it all. I actually don't remember. We probably should fix that to have it for both. But I guess it's a benefit for Panda that you can go and do the Panda section and talk on there.
Right. We want folks to support Panda for sure. Like he has a Patreon and a Ko-Fi. Is it Coffee or Ko-Fi?
Ko-Fi.
I can never understand if it's coffee, like buy me a coffee, or co-finance, like co-finance what I'm doing.
Also, I think when you change permission of it, I think we actually locked out a bunch of patrons on the Panda channel.
Oh no.
I know Panda patrons, the rules there.
Okay.
I'm just not seeing anybody logged in on it. Maybe no one's logged in right now, but I'm only seeing the moderators and for some reason Retro RGB. So if anybody does support the Panda patron, definitely let us know if you're able to find that channel. If not, please let us know.
Let us know.
We didn't lock it on purpose.
Excellent. Yeah, I gotta get Panda Man's Patreon boosted. He deserves it. He definitely deserves it. There isn't a harder working journalist in Cron gaming, honestly.
Or on TV for that matter.
I mean, seriously, yeah. Like he's a broadcast journalist for goodness sake. Like always working hard, and those edits, chef's kiss. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Don't lie, I'm a slacker.
We probably should have asked before we doxed that. Are you comfortable with us, people letting us know you do that?
Oh, I think he's mentioned it at least once in one of his videos. I didn't realize.
I guess, but I mean, it's one thing saying it, but one like sort of alluding to it a bit more. I guess I don't know.
Okay, well.
Okay, he's fine with it. Okay, cool. I'm just not gonna link to like his official stuff. But
yeah, he went on that podcast interview and talked all about it, like all about his day job and stuff like that.
Okay, so
that's what makes him so good at all of his research and stuff.
Yeah, like I said, I think he likes to separate though, so don't say his like.
Oh yeah. We're not gonna like link anything specific or tell them what your station is or any of that.
Here's Pandemonium's address.
yeah. We will give you his address. You can send him plenty
we will
of.
dox him for sure. That's. I mean, it's one thing like to tell him where he works, but his home that's up for grabs. It's all cool. You can go knock on his door. I'm sure he won't mind.
Knight is just like.
Strangers ask about Saturn.
Knight is just like, is this still going? End it. All right.
If you guys say my last name and stuff, that's fine. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, it's up to you. I'd rather have the dog and bark at you if you talk to me and knock. Yeah, you might not want to do that. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I imagine you could easily find him. He has all his new stuff, so I do like it though. Honestly, it's kind of funny seeing him do the new stuff because it's like I'm getting a daily dose. I'm getting the reports on the world, and I'm getting some Saturn in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I still think the best was when he talked about Command and Conquer on there. That was kind of funny. It's a good tie-in podcast.
Yeah, Knight wants me to go, but the wife and daughter are at Disneyland, so it's just me and the boy, and I think we're gonna watch Indiana Jones or something like that. Yeah, we will get pizza. There, I'm telling you all of my life details. I have to take Jesse to swim and then go get some pizza and watch a movie or something like that.
So if anybody somehow lives in Arizona wants to play some Warhammer or RPGs, hit me up.
Sounds like fun.
I might play
some. Thank you, Pudgy. I hope I found my cat. Hope the cat's found as well.
Pandemonium reviews court documents.
I mean, I'd pay money for that.
What were you gonna say, Dan? Before we roll credits?
I said I'm going to play some Phasmophobia. They just put a big new update, so it should be cool. Check it out.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a PC game. It's a spooky game. Phasmophobia.
Yeah, Trekkies, I need to get to play PSO. I need to get the modem. I could do Dreamcast, but I don't have the GameCube modem yet. That's something I need to drop money on. So
yeah.
Next convention.
You gonna get the broadband adapter?
Yeah, POGE. I'll go get the broadband adapter.
Okay. Cool.
So we're piecing that out little by little. So that's gonna be my big look for at the you do DC. Probably not tonight. The RPG's in a little bit, and I'm pretty tired. So.
All right. Well,
let's definitively next cast we'll do PSO. Let's make plans for that.
And this has been SaturnDave, TraynoCo, and Danthrax, reminding you that you must play Sega Saturn. Until next week, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
SEGA Saturn シュ